So for our next cross-hatching project, we're actually going to be inspired by the Mona Lisa and one of the most famous paintings of all time. And one of the things it's famous for is for its beautiful shading, for Leonardo da Vinci's use of highlight, form shadow, and cast shadow. And we're going to mimic that using our cross-hatching technique. Now, to make this doable, you're going to start with a coloring book page of the Mona Lisa. And I've scanned this in, and you should be able to print it. And you're going to draw right on top of this page. And you're going to draw over it with your pen, and you're going to transform her. And what I mean is you're going to take your pen and right on the coloring book page, just redesign her. And you're going to use your cross hatching and your black pen to create a completely original image. And feel free, use your creativity. You know, you can transform her into a werewolf, into a figure from mythology, or some sort of crazy alien. And so that's how you're going to start. Now, one thing to keep in mind is you really want to create structure using your shading. And so whatever you draw, you want to be sure to see that form. So her head is this sort of large oval shape. And so depending on how you want to shade it, maybe you want the light coming from here. Fundamentally, we'll have a form shadow on the right side. You know, her nose would cast a shadow. Her jawline would cast a shadow onto the neck. The neck is fundamentally a cylinder, and it will go from dark to light to a little dark. The body is fundamentally a cone. Maybe it would cast a shadow. So that's how we're going to think about this object. Now, you're not going to draw this, right? But you're going to make sure you have your highlight, your form shadows, and your cast shadows consistently. And you're going to translate that into your drawing with highlight, form shadows, cast shadows. So let's talk about how you might start. So you're going to develop your idea. You're welcome to start with pencil. If you like to use pencil, you know, you're welcome to sketch some things out before you move on to the pen. But eventually, you're going to move on to pen. You're going to color things black, create nice outlines, and use hatch marks, crosshatch, whatever idea you want. Now, the reason why this sheet was scanned, faded, is because you can draw right over things and ignore parts of it. So you may want to use parts of the drawing. And so if I wanted to use this jawline, I can use it. But you may want to ignore parts of the drawings, and you're just going to power right over that. You know, if you don't want to use her two eyes, you don't have to. If you don't want to use this hair, you know, maybe I want this Mona Lisa to be a little more bald, then I can just ignore the hair. So I'm ignoring this line and draw my own. So one thing that I mentioned is you want to create your highlights, form shadows, cast shadows. So think about where you want your light coming from, either from the left or the right. I'm going to put a star. So maybe I'm using that. So I'm going to start using cross-hatching to create a sense of form. So here's her jawline. So maybe I'll have a cast shadow here. A little form shadow here. Maybe the lower lip's going to cast a shadow. Maybe the nose is going to cast a shadow. A little shadow deep in the ear as it moves away from the light. Little dark to light to dark. So have lots of fun. This is a real great project. Again, you're starting with the coloring book page and you're drawing right on it. You're transforming that actual coloring book page. You don't have to redraw it somehow. And so we're going to create that. And you can use whatever parts of the coloring book page, her nose, her mouth, her shoulders, but then you can also ignore parts of it. See how this hair was drawn? Here's the coloring book page for the hair, but it's been ignored. Obviously, a lot of the body was used, the hand was used, but the face was very much transformed. The mouth was lengthened. I think you'll notice a few extra eyes were used. The hairline's very similar, but then just made. And again, it's all about using hatching and cross hatching to shade. That's what this unit's about. It's about using your pen and using hatch marks, cross hatch, stipple if you want, to create a transformative image of Mona Lisa.